Everybody say this freedom, something like a woman prays. I'm grateful for the loving that you gave. Okay, reason number one why I got Microlocs, and I'm a little bit over a year. It look a little crazy right now because it's been time for a retire. I told y'all I just forgot the appointment, okay? Everything's fine. So I am not at my normal stylist. I'm at someone else because I waited to the last minute. But reason number one why I got Microlocs is because my scalp was telling me. My scalp made me do it, okay? My scalp was doing all types of stuff, and I'm going to tell you why. I have what's called, what the dermatologist may call seborrheic dermatitis, and what that pretty much means is like my scalp is sensitive, and it's almost like the older I got, the more and more my scalp was like, stop playing with me, okay? So my scalp got really sensitive. So yeah. So it would be like if I would get a style, like let's just say I got my hair braided or something like that. Girl, 2 days later, I got to take them out because I got blisters, and it was crazy, y'all. So after I realized like my hair would not take any type of like weave or anything, then I started just kind of getting the same style or whatever. But even then, it was certain products that my scalp just did not like. Okay, so that was number one. My scalp was really telling me that I needed to get Microlocs. Okay, reason number two why I got Microlocs, I was spending money on a problem, not a solution. I was spending money on a problem, not a solution. So the biggest reality is I'm going to talk about the math in the next section, because this is all about money, financial, and all the things, and how we tie even our hairstyles to money, right? And so the reason that I ended up getting Microlocs is because every 2 weeks, like 85, and I'm looking at my calculations, $85 to $95, I was spending pretty much every 2 weeks to get a new fresh hairstyle, okay? Because I could only do certain styles, so it was always around that same range. And so if you think about it over a year, that's up to around $2,470, $2,500. And so the biggest thing is my scalp still wasn't happy. My scalp was still like, that works. We'll do it. We'll take that, boo. But that's about it. Okay. And so what I was doing was I was actually paying to maintain the problem. Like I was trying to keep the problem at bay, but it wasn't actually being or solving a problem. It was really still just, the problem was still existed, but it was like, you're limited. Okay. Like this is your scope. Now don't get too comfortable now. Okay. So that was one of the biggest things for me, is that I realized that I was spending money on a problem and not a solution. Okay. Reason 3, the Microloc investment actually made financial sense. Y'all, let me tell y'all why. Because let me break this down. I broke it down so I could break it down to you. Okay. So if you break down the new numbers, if you are getting a Microloc retile, depending on where you go, on average around here, it's like $250 to $350 for about 8 to 10 weeks. So you're supposed to get like a retile, like a good 8 to 10 weeks. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a minute. But you're supposed to get a retile like every 8 to 10 weeks. So that's like $250 to $350 between that time frame, or every time you do that. And so that's about 6 appointments per year. Okay. 6. You sit in the chair 6 times, about 6 times a year. Okay. Versus 26. So if I'm getting my hair done every 2 weeks or whatever, then I'm sitting in the chair 6 versus 26. 20 less appointments. I just had to let that sit. Let that resonate. 20 less. Okay. The annual cost drops to $1,500 to $1,950. So depending on the cost of the Microloc retire, it could be anywhere between $1,500 to $1,950. So less than $2,000 for the year. For the year. Okay. And that saves you about $520 to $1,000 every single year. So if you think about over 5 years, you're potentially close to $5,000 of savings. So for the girls that's trying to save, I'm only talking to the ones that's trying to figure it out. Okay. Listen, it might be your hair. Your hair may be costing you money. Okay. I had to say that slow for somebody. Your hair may be keeping you broke. Because ain't nobody going to say that like that. But I'm going to say it like that because I love you. Okay. So if you think about that, I mean, you talking about $5,000. You talking about a course. That's a course. That's a coaching program. Like, listen, money that's generating something else, some type of investment, something else that's giving you a return on your investment. Hair. And for me, I was getting it every 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, if you got a sew in, it may last a month. You got some braids, may last maybe 2 months. And you back at it and you paying that again. So again, and I ain't getting in your business. I ain't telling you how to spend your money. Spend your money how you want to spend your money. Okay? All I'm saying is your money may be keeping you broke. Number 4, okay? It aligned with how I actually live. Y'all, it was something about, okay? It was something about getting my hair done and getting locked. Like, it was almost like the day. I remember the day, because my stylist, Queen J, she is the bomb. I remember the day I got my locks. And I remember when I walked out of there, there was something about me. There was something, it was just different. It was almost like she know who she is. Like that was the energy it was given. Like, she know who she is. Right. And I will be honest, I worked in corporate America for a lot of my career. So well over 10 plus years in corporate America for many years. And one of the biggest things is I remember when I first started, I believed that I had to press my hair, I had to flat iron my hair. I had to try to like fit this mold of corporate America. So I would always be getting a blowout or something like that. So my natural curl, which my hair is naturally thick, naturally coarse, whatever, I was always like hiding or masking that by a good blowout. Okay. And baby, I love the good blowout, especially in the like winter, baby. Okay. But it was something about getting my hair done this way because it was all natural and it was all mine. And baby, all I got to do is put a pin up. Okay, this is not a good reflection right now. Y'all gonna see me after, but this is not a good reflection. But all I had to do is put my pin up and do my edge a little bit and we done. Another person. All right. And then the last one was, it was a decision I made for me. So the biggest thing is, along this journey of learning myself, along this journey of like self-care, self-worth, and all the things, I recognized that this was a decision to honor my hair, my body, my scalp. Like, it was bigger than just a money decision because it did save money. Money on products, not just on hair. Like, you think about all the products that you get when you're getting your hair done for upkeep and maintenance or whatever. So now only having to get reties every so often, that changed the game for me. But I think what it was that it gave me a sense of like self, I don't know. It just did something different to me. Kind of like I said on the last point, but I recognized that God was also in this decision. Like, I believe, and it took me almost a year and a half before I made a decision to get locked, because it's a big decision. So for anybody out there that's like, girl, I've been thinking about it, I promise you, it is a big decision. So I would not tell you to make a decision overnight, because I didn't make a decision overnight, and ain't nobody gonna tell me to make a decision overnight, and I wouldn't dare tell you to make a decision overnight. But honestly, what was beautiful is that in this decision, I believe it was the Lord allowing me to see that, it's not just thinking about, all the other things that I deem as important, but it was about, this gave me a level of peace. Like, I was stressed out on a regular, y'all, about my hair. I was stressed out. Because if my hair didn't look right, or if I had a flare up, my scalp started acting crazy, I would cry. I literally would. And any real woman, no, it's something different about hair trauma. Like, somebody mess up your hair, or you having a bad hair day, baby, waterworks. Okay, so I literally would cry over my hair. But the sense of peace that I've gotten, and, of course, we know that peace, real peace, true peace, consistent peace comes from the Lord. He is the Prince of Peace, right? And he said he give us peace not as the world gives, but peace like this. That's real peace, right? But I believe that this was also an extension of that peace, because something that really caused me to go into turmoil and sadness and almost depression when it came to my hair was my hair. Like, I felt like something was wrong with me because my scalp kept acting up. Okay, so now, because I don't have to put in a lot of products on my hair, if any, now the fact that I just come get a retie every so often, and it's just, I don't know, it just gives me personality. It just gives me all the things, and I gotta just be me, and this is just who I am. You either like it or you love it, all that. So I am gonna come back, and I'm gonna try to take y'all with me so y'all can see some of the process of me getting my hair retied, and I'm gonna come back and just give y'all, just close it out. I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna let y'all know, like, this how we look, because I'm looking a little rough right now. But I'm gonna come back and let y'all see what we look like and go from there. But those are 5 reasons why I got locked, why I got micro-locked in the beginning. And I wanted you to understand that it could be beyond finances and money. I mean, it could be also related to finances and money. So I just want to keep you guys updated, and I will come back.
I wake up every day as flesh and bones, humbled alone, weak on my own. Lord, you love me bare and natural. You need me where I am, still high on your throne. I look up to you in all I do. You're my example of perfection.
Okay, y'all, we are done. We're done. It's a few hours, right? I was able to eat and do all the things, but I just wanted to make sure I close this out. I would love for you to like, share, subscribe, and honestly comment. Sometimes the decisions don't have nothing to do with money, but they got everything to do literally with about the person that's running the business, about the person that's running the money, all the things. So I hope that this resonated with you. I hope you learned something about my micro-lock journey, and I hope to see you next time. Talk to you later.